Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Today, we're going to discuss the law of attraction as it relates to spiritual guidance. Spiritual guidance is an integral part of law of attraction, although not really addressed from that perspective from most teachers. But today, we're going to enlighten you as to the importance of spiritual guidance when trying to consciously create with the law of attraction is a pivotal, important steps. Again, thank you for joining me. So let's get started. What we're going to discuss today is first we're going to define spiritual guidance, and then we're going to discuss how it relates to the law of attraction, how to start communication with your spiritual guides, and give you a quick meditation so you can ask for spiritual guidance. Just to give you a little background on myself, I have a bachelor's degree in biology, minor in chemistry, so I started off in the science realm. I have a master's degree in education, so I love to teach. I taught college level human anatomy and physiology because I love the body. And then I transitioned to doing science work, teaching. I was in the military, paralegal. All of this is to say that I relied a lot on my logical mind. And as my health became compromised, I began to search for answers, and I discovered the law of attraction, and it was a pivotal discovery for me because it confirmed to me a lot about what I had thought as I was younger and kind of forgot in a sense. And so it was eye-opening. I immediately immersed myself into it. I love it. I strengthen my connection to my spiritual guides and whom I call I am, and they are really the guiding force of my teachings. Everything I teach comes from within me. And today we're going to address the importance of doing that for yourself. Now, what is spirit? If you look at a definition, you type it in on a web browser, in a search engine, such as Google, you come up with many definitions. One being the non-physical part of a person, that is the seat of emotions and character, the soul. The non-physical part of a person regarded as a person's true self and is capable of surviving physical death or separation, an animating or vital principle held to give life to physical organisms, a supernatural being or essence such as the Holy Spirit, the soul, an often malevolent being that's bodiless but can't become visible, specifically what they refer to as a ghost, a malevolent being that enters and possesses a human being, the immaterial, intelligent, or sentient part of a person. So you can see there's a lot of different definitions of what is spirit. Most of them, actually all of them, entail it being non-physical in nature. So we are physical beings because, we have, you can feel us physically. I'm trying to think of a good way to explain that. But then there's the non-physical, that which is not in physical form, which can be summarized as spirit in most definitions. Some definitions have the spirit being very kind, and others, as you heard me say, the malevolent driving forces here. Our definition of spirit can be defined as a non-physical self that is of a higher vibration than the physical body and communicates to the physical self through various means. There are different levels of spirit, the inner spirit and other non-physical beings. Okay? So in the physical form, because again, we're all energy that vibrate at a different level. The physical form vibrates slower than that which is in the non-physical. They have a higher vibration. So again, this is why we just find the spirit as a non-physical self that is a higher vibration than the physical body. Okay? your definition of spirit is going to depend on your beliefs and your influences that you've encountered throughout your life and society, what you've been raised to believe and what you've been raised to uh, embody as far as the spirit. So if you grew up in the church, you're going to have a different idea of spirit than someone who did not grow up in the church, okay? So when we say spiritual guides, inner guides, angels, God, providence, etc., it's going to have a different interpretation depending on the person. Spiritual guidance. What is spiritual guidance? Spiritual guidance, in essence, is guidance being directed towards a specific goal or just being led to whatever it is that you desire from the non-physical spirit. So you're getting that guidance from the non-physical. It is guidance beyond the ego and the logical mind. So we tend to, especially in the Western societies, relying on the logical mind is very much encouraged. It's encouraged to, your instincts are what we consider instincts, because you can also think of instincts as spiritual guidance as well. That form of reliance is really not valued much, okay? It's more about the ego and what's logical, what's scientific. And as you know, especially if you're attending this webinar, there's more to life than just the physical and what can be seen. There's way more to it than that, which is not, again, valued in Western societies, okay? Before we delve into anything further, we're going to discuss the law of attraction. Just give a brief overview of the law of attraction. I'm assuming if you're here because you want to understand the relationship between the law of attraction and spiritual guidance. So you are familiar with the law of attraction. Having said that, I'm going to give you a brief overview of what the law of attraction entails. So the law of attraction is a principle that outlines how we create our reality here in this creative universe. The first part is the asking. Okay, you ask by various means. You ask verbally, you ask through your thoughts, you're asking through many means. Okay, and then when you ask, the universe, whatever you call your universe, okay, be it God, providence, whatever that is to you, answers. And it answers 100% of the time. This is a challenging part for many people to grasp because they don't feel that they get what they ask for 100% of the time, but in actuality, you are. The problem is that most people aren't in tune with what they're actually asking for, okay? So you ask, the universe answers. Your job is to allow that creation to come into your reality. What most people don't do is they don't allow what they desire into their reality. They actually allow the opposite of what they want, okay? So really, the key, one aspect of the law of attraction, one aspect to heavily rely on is learning how to allow, because when you learn how to allow, you start receiving more and more and more of what you like. You also do have to learn how to ask in a way that is going to be conducive to a lifestyle that you desire, okay? But for the most part, most people need an abundance of help in the allowing aspects, because how much you allow will determine how your creations come into your reality. So you ask, the universe answers, you allow, and depending on how much you allow will depend on what you receive in your reality. So you can take a look around and what you have at this point, and that is a reflection of how much you have allowed into your life, what you have allowed. So if there's a lot of anger, violence, and whatnot, that means that you are at a lower vibration and you're resisting allowing something of a higher vibration. So if you really want peace in your life, but you're not really seeing the peace, that means you're not allowing that peace to come. You're allowing a more of lower vibration into your reality. Now, why is spiritual guidance important for the law of attraction? Well, it's important because when you're manifesting with the law of attraction, having a reliable and consistent guidance is important. It's important to understand where you are in alignment and out of alignment of your goals. So if you're not understanding, so let's say you spend, 5 or 10 minutes really visualizing, really getting into your conscious creation, but then for the rest of the day, you're not in tune with your spirit. You're not in tune with the universe. You don't understand when you're actually allowing and when you're not allowing this creation into your reality. If you get in tune to the spiritual guidance, then you'll understand. And then that way you can stay, for the most part, most of the day in alignment and not out of alignment, okay? And that's a key point, because many people, when it's like, oh, I tried the law of attraction, but it doesn't seem to work for me. Well, it's working all the time, first of all. Second of all, is if you're not getting what you think you should be getting, then it's because there's a misunderstanding. You're not understanding when you're resisting. And so if you don't understand when you're resisting, you keep resisting, and so you're not allowing. And then therefore you're not getting what you desire. But again, if you start using spiritual guidance, the forms of spiritual guidance, that will help you to understand when you're in or out of alignment. It also helps you to make decisions because it relieves you of the logical mind decisions. It really does. When you're in tune with your spirit, you learn to trust that you are being led to do this. Because sometimes when, let's say, you don't necessarily know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 months down the road. So if you receive, say, this guidance from your spirit to say, okay, take this action, but it doesn't seem very logical to do this at this particular moment, if you're not really trusting and relying in your spirit, you're not going to make that decision. You're going to say logically, well, this doesn't make any sense. And then you're going to miss that opportunity that you've been creating. So being in tune with spirit is very important for that reason, because the non-physical sees and knows way beyond what the logical mind can know. Okay, so that's, again, an important usage of spiritual guidance for the law of attraction. And as I stated, it develops trust, your confidence, your faith. So as you deepen your connection to your spirit, each and every time that you're receiving guidance, it just becomes easier to trust in it. And so when it really doesn't seem logical to other people, you're like, oh, I'm totally okay with this. I trust this. I know this is where I am being led. Okay? Again, and it helps you feel connected. It helps you feel like you're not alone out here. It helps you feel, basically, it's like having a best friend in the spirit realm. Okay, it's an awesome feeling to know that, again, we are more than just the physical. So we encourage you to strengthen your connection. Now, we are all connected to the non-physical, okay? That is just the way it is, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying that, okay? And so really, to get into deepening that connection, you have to first ask for it. So you set your intentions for a deeper connection, okay? You set your intentions to develop a two-way communication. So it's not just you talking to your spirit, is your spirit talking to you, okay? And again, that helps to relieve you of that logical sense of you know it all in your mind. Let Spirit guide you. Let Spirit give you the answers that you need, and you will be amazed at how much your knowledge broadens and awakens, and how much you thought you knew, and there's way more to know. It is absolutely profoundly amazing. So what we do recommend, because everyone has a different idea of what spirit is, and some people, again, if you listen to the definition or read the definition, there are forces, there are entities that are of a lower vibration in the non-physical, just as in the physical. Okay, so and some people have fears about if you're tapping into the non-physical, what is it that I am manifesting in my reality? And so to mediate that fear, okay, and to know that we are connected to that which is of a higher vibration, we like to have a phrase that kind of mediates this fear of the unknown, I shall say. So go ahead, you can repeat this message. I'll just go ahead and read it for you. So I'm reading this as if I'm talking to my spirit, and I want to develop a relationship with my spiritual guides. So I say, this message is directed to my higher source, inner guides, God. So whatever you call your higher source, you would substitute that in the phrase. So this message is directed to my higher source that is of the highest vibration of love and has my best interest in mind. Let's start a conversation together. I would like to strengthen my communication with you and develop a relationship in which we understand each other clearly. Let's start with showing me signs that I clearly understand when you are giving me a response to my question. Make it very obvious to me. Perhaps play a song in my head so that I know the answer is from you. And you can substitute playing a song in your head to whatever you desire to do, but make sure that you are asked for guidance from that which is of a higher vibration. Because again, we want to make sure that we are connecting to that which is of love. What is your question? Okay. So today we're talking about law of attraction, spiritual guidance. Let's go ahead and practice asking a question. I know you're always really asking a question in many respects, and in many respects you get responses, but you don't realize it's from your spiritual guides, okay? But today we're going to consciously ask a question and ask for an answer. So you want to keep the question simple in the beginning, and you also want to ask questions that are beyond the yes or no, because those can be kind of tricky in the beginning. You think those would be simple, but it would be easier for someone who's not experienced in getting guidance from their spiritual guides to discount a yes and no response. So it's better to ask questions that are beyond that, okay? An example would be, what is one thing I can do to accomplish my goals, okay? That is a question that is, it's not a yes or no question. It's asking for guidance. What is one thing I can do to improve my health? That's another example, okay? So take a moment to think of a question that could help you to start the process of deepening your connection to your spiritual guides. Okay, I hope you have the question in your head. Now we're going to start the process of the quick meditation that we're going to do to help in receiving a response to your question. So at the end of this meditation, there's going to be a part in there where you're going to set your intentions for the day. So In that part, it advises you to use the words "I am grateful" when setting your intention. So in this respect, you can say, an example of this would be, "I'm grateful for your guidance." So you're talking to your spiritual guides. "I'm grateful I understand the response to my question, which is," then you ask your question. So I'm grateful that I understand the response to my question, which is, "What is one thing I could do to improve my health?" So I'm just using an example that I used previously. You don't have to phrase your entire conversation or intentions with "I am grateful." It is only a suggestion in what is presented in this meditation. So again, what you could say during this time: "I am grateful for your guidance, God, or whatever your spirit is to you. I'm grateful I understand the response to my question, which is, what is one thing I can do to improve my health? I'm grateful that I stay calm and wait for an answer." Again, okay? During this meditation, what you're going to do is, at first you're going to rub your hands together, and then you're going to bring your hands together. When you exhale, you inhale, your hands apart, you exhale, and bring your hands together, okay? And doing this, what you're going to do is you're going to create this ball of light, okay? And this ball of light, it could be any color, it could be no color, but it's really, it gets you in tune to the fact that we're all energetic beings, okay? And it allows you to start using your mind, your visualization, your power of your thoughts in creating this ball of light. And this is a very useful tool for practicing visualization, strengthening your mind and the creative force for the law of attraction. All right, so we're going to begin this guided meditation. Place a slight smile on your face. Close your eyes. Relax. Breathe from your lower abdomen. As you inhale, your lower abdomen expands. As you exhale, your lower abdomen relaxes. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a moment to do a quick body scan, starting from your feet all the way to the top of your head. Pay particular attention to your lower back, your shoulders, and your jaw. If any of these areas need relaxing, take a moment and breathe into them. Inhale and exhale, and allow that area to relax. Inhale, exhale,
allowing relaxation. Relax your shoulders, bend your elbows to an approximate 90-degree angle. Place your hands together and rub them vigorously, keeping your shoulders and everything relaxed. We are building up energy in your hands. Now, spread your hands apart approximately 1 inch so that the palms are facing each other but not touching. Place your focus on your hands, bringing your awareness to your fingertips, the palms of your hands. Just notice if there are any sensations between the palms of your hands. Now inhale and spread your hands apart until you no longer feel that sensation. Exhale and bring your hands back to each other, but not touching. Inhale, spread them apart, remembering to keep your wrists, elbows, shoulders relaxed. Exhale, bring them back together. Do this for a few more breaths. As you continue to do this, you may start to feel a sensation growing between your hands. Visualize this energy growing between your hands as a ball of light. Now this ball of light can be any color, and it can also change colors. Allow the image of the color to come to you. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale and expand the ball of light. Exhale and contract. Now imagine the same ball of light is now surrounding your entire body. As you inhale, this ball of light surrounding you expands. As you exhale, this ball of light contracts around you. Inhale and expand the ball of light around you. Exhale and contract it. Continue this visualization for a moment. Place your focus on your hands again as we create another ball of light. Inhale and expand the ball of light. Exhale and contracted. Now this ball of light may be a different color than the first one. That is okay. Allow the image of the color to come to you. Again, inhaling and expanding the ball of light. Exhaling and contracting. Do that for a few more breaths. Remembering that any time you find your mind has wandered, come back to the visualization. You are now in the present moment. Now imagine this ball of light now surrounds your entire body. Inhale and expand the ball of light around your entire body. Exhale and contract it. Inhale. Exhale. Do that for a few more breaths. Now return your awareness to your hands again. We are creating another ball of light. Inhale and expand the ball of light in your hands. Exhale and contract. This ball of light can be any color. Allow the color to come to you. Inhale. Expand the ball of light. Exhale. Contract it. Now imagine this ball of light now surrounds your entire body. Inhale. Expand the ball of light around your entire body. Exhale and contract it. Inhale. Expand the ball of light around your entire body. Exhale and contract it. Do this for several more breaths. As you continue to expand and contract the ball of light around your entire body, set your intention for what you desire to experience. Start with the words, I am grateful. Now release the image of the ball of light. trusting that this ball of light surrounds you throughout the day. Now give thanks to 5 things for which you are grateful for today. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Namaste.
Thank you for joining me for that meditation. I just love the 3 balls of light. It's just very calming and centering. Okay. Just so you know, you will receive an answer to your request, to your question. Just be patient and trust in the process. Allow the answer to come to you, okay? No need to try to force it. Just allow it. Just let it go and allow it to come. And it will come to you, okay? It may come by the end of this webinar or afterwards, all right? Just trust in the process. And when you receive your answer, get clarification if you need it. Or get clarification if there are several answers and you don't know which is the one that you were supposed to receive, okay? So again, it's this 2-way conversation with your spiritual guide. So if you say you received an answer in the magazine and you're like, okay, where is this what I'm being led to from my spirit, or is this a result of a lower vibratory request, okay? So get clarification and focus on receiving an answer, as always in the principles of a law of attraction. You're going to focus on what you desire, not on what you don't desire. So if you're noticing that you're not getting a response, then what is that going to create? You not getting the response. So again, focus on receiving the answer, and better still, just let it go and allow it to happen. But if you notice that you're noticing that you haven't received a response, or you haven't understood the response, shift your focus and just say the words. You can say the words. I believe I will receive the answer. I trust. I let go and let go. Okay. Right. One pivotal point that I teach my clients is to always write down your responses in a spiritual journal. Spiritual journaling is very important in the spiritual process, and it helps you to see how far you've progressed throughout your journey. It helps you to document the responses that you've received and to allow you to get clarification if needed. And it's a way to go back to your journal and reread the messages that you've gotten. If you've gotten off track, let's just say it's been a bad day and you just need something to uplift you, go to your spiritual journal and read the messages that you've received, and you be amazed at how uplifting that can be. Now, how do your spiritual guides communicate to you? Well, they communicate through several means. Internally, through feelings. Feelings are actually one of the most intimate ways that your spirits communicate to you, okay? There's also a knowingness, just knowing an answer. You ask a question, and then it's almost like you get a download of the answer, and you're like, wow, okay, I know the response. It's really like you have your brain is like a search engine, and you just, you pop in your question and bam, and all of a sudden you know the answer. And that is a phenomenal feeling, to have that connection to your source where you can get instant answers. And that's going to depend, how long you've been doing this, how open you are to receiving, and how quiet your mind is, okay? Because it's harder to get thoughts in if you're spewing tons of thoughts out. That's why we advocate a daily meditation practice, to help you in quieting your mind so you can develop that communication with your spirit. Spirit also communicates to you through inspired thoughts. Which I'm pretty sure all of you have had, a moment where you had an inspired thought that came from the non-physical spirit. Spirit also communicates to you externally through songs, for example, books, movies, a sign, a conversation. So there's many mechanisms in which spirit can communicate with you. The most intimate is that of feelings, not to invalidate songs, books, or anything like that. Those are all great ways in which you strengthen your communication with your spirit. But I don't like using the words best or better. I would just say that in order to be better at constantly creating, you're going to want to cultivate that form of communication, which is internal. Again, feelings are important. Not using feelings is one key mistake in applying the law of attraction that many people have not made the switch to. They rely a lot on their mind and not on their body, not getting grounded in their body and understanding their feelings, okay? Again, feelings are a form of spiritual guidance, and they are very, very important, okay? Feelings are vibrations. You feel good and you're in alignment. When you're feeling bad, you're out of alignment. And of course, there's ranges between feeling good and feeling bad. An example of feeling good would be you're joyful, you're laughing, you're happy, your health is good, you have good eyesight, your joints are flexible, you feel connected to source. So those are examples of feeling good. So you're an example. Feeling bad could be an example of that. You're irritated, you're angry, you feel lost, depressed. There's pain in your joints. There's suffer from nausea, stomach aches, things like that. Those are signs that you're out of alignment with your creation, with consciously creating that which you desire. Okay? So it's important for you to get in tune with your feelings to understand the signs. Now, in this webinar, we're not going into details about the specifics of spiritual guidance. It's just really to give you some tips and an overview of how important it is. If you need further guidance, further help on this, we're here for you. We can help you develop that relationship with your spiritual guide so that you can be a master creator of your reality. Okay? In review, spirits are non-physical entities. Spiritual guidance is key to manifesting, as we've given several examples of why it's important for you to utilize spiritual guidance, because it helps you continue the flow of consciously creating your reality. And the feelings are an important form of communication from your spirit, which you have been receiving since you were born, but you haven't quite understood what it meant. When you were younger, I know you intuitively just knew, okay? But as you got older, you were trained to believe and trained to rely more on the logical mind, so you kind of lost step with that innate feeling and what that meant, okay? When it felt bad, you're like, oh, you're not supposed to be doing this or thinking this or whatever the case may be. Okay, work on deepening your connection to your spirit daily, and we have guidelines on how to do that. There's, meditation daily is one way, talking to your spirits every day, is another way, and there's other ways in which to incorporate that into your routine. Write your answers in your spiritual journal, again, because this helps you to document your progress. Get additional guidance and clarification if you need it from your spiritual guides. And make it a two-way communication, okay? If you need, again, additional help, we do offer a Law of Attraction workshop in Sedona, Arizona. It's a Friday and Saturday, where I give you a little coaching session before the workshop, and then you get continuous support after the workshop with the online video library. You get that access for 6 months. And because you watch this webinar, we're giving a 10% discount for anyone who wants to sign up for that. For now, the workshops are either one-on-one, or if you have a group, you can do that. Coming in 2019, we're going to have actual dates for anyone to join us, and we're looking forward to that. We're pretty excited about that next step in our journey. I offer Law of Attraction, meditation, spiritual life coaching. There's a 20% discount for those who have watched this webinar. And we also offer a spiritual healing retreat in Sedona, Arizona, where it's about really getting in touch with your spiritual, meeting your spiritual guides, getting in touch with them, and deepening that connection. And so you go home, you're revived, you feel more connected. You feel like you're finding your purpose in life. Okay, you can find out more information about all of that on my website at seekwithinyou.com, www.seekwithinyou.com. You can also find out information on our training site at seekwithinyouonline.com. Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time out to learn about Law of Attraction and spiritual guidance. And I will see you for our next webinar coming up in August. Bueno. Namaste.